Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, I'm a freelance writer, and today we're going to go over what makes the perfect cold pitch subject line. Hold on to your butts! Today's video is inspired by questions that have been asked to me by you. I've been asked this question a couple of times, what makes a great cold pitch subject line, and for some reason it didn't register that I might make a video on it. But recently I helped one of my good friends write a cold pitch email to get more work in, and he was asking me about this and I was giving him some pointers, and he came back a few days later to say that he'd won the work and he was just loving life, and I thought, damn, I need to make a video on this shit. So before you watch this, you might find it useful to watch my video on writing a cold pitch email, just to do all your background research. This is like a little add-on to that, an accoutrement, if you will. You can find the video linked up there in the little eye or down in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. It's probably one of my most successful videos of all time, and people have won work off the back of the advice in that video. I have physically had people come to me and say, I did that and I got client X, Y and Z, so thank you. I mean, I've yet to get a beer off of any of these people. You know, I'm not upset about it, I don't care. It's whatever, it's whatever, it's whatever. So, writing a cold pitch email subject line. People are not going to open your cold pitch email if it doesn't have a good subject line, because they're not going to know who the email is to, what it's about, what the value is, or where they should open it. You should understand that the average inbox is loaded down with fucking trash. And in order to rise above the trash, you're going to have to be really clever, really strategic with your email subject line. So I'm going to tell you just exactly what I do when I write my subject lines. I'm even going to give you a little example. It does mean revealing a secret that helps me get work, but I'm all about helping my fellow man. You know, the karma I'll probably get from this will be worth it, right? So first up, before we even get writing, we're going to need to do our homework on the company that we are pitching. If you've watched my previous video, you'll know that you will have hand selected the person that you are pitching, or the company that you're pitching. So by this point in time, when you've written the email, you should have a really good understanding of who you're actually writing to and exactly how you can add value to that company. You need to make sure that you are sending your email through the correct channel. So you're going to have to dig around on the company website and find out, do they have a specific email address for contributors or freelancers to contact them? Do they have a freelancer or contributor contact form? In which case, a subject line is completely redundant and you will have wasted a lot of time if you haven't done that research, because you will have written a subject line and an email that you in fact do not need to use. Alternatively, do they even accept contributions or work with freelancers? You might be able to find that information out, in which case you can save yourself a hell of a lot of time and hassle, because this company will not work with you anyway. Another good tip is to find out just exactly who you should be contacting, who is head of content or copywriting at the agency or company that you are pitching. You can find this information on the Meet the Team page, or by sleuthing around on LinkedIn to find out just exactly who you should be contacting. You can even try and guess an email address. I don't know, there's ways around, there's ways around these systems. So make sure that you're sending it to and addressing it to the right person, because otherwise your email is going to end up in a generic inbox, overstuffed with junk, and it will be missed. And now we get to the writing of the subject line itself. Now, I have always been taught that the best subject lines tell what's inside, not sell what's inside. And I cannot for the life of me remember where the fuck I heard that. I think it was Pure 360, the email company. I heard it way back in the beginning of my career. We're talking like 7 or 8 years ago, but I've held fast to that rule, and for cold pitching it really works, and here is why. So when your email lands in a busy inbox and the person is scanning the subject lines to see what's important right now, what do they need in the immediate future to get their job done, let's be honest, it's not going to be your email. So let's assume that they're just looking at their inbox and they're looking for something to get the job done for today, and your email drops in. If your email subject line tells them exactly who you are and what you're offering them, they can gain all of that information from the subject line. They know. They don't need to open the email. They know you're a freelancer, you're available, you'd like to work with them. That's brilliant. They can come back to that later. In the back of their mind, they know that's who you are, you have offered services, there is someone out there that can help them in the future if they need it, okay? So that's one reason why you're going to want to be super fucking specific in your subject line. The second reason is, in the future, later, when they think, fuck, I really need extra resource for this job, what am I going to do? I'm going to hire a freelancer. Wait a minute, didn't I get an email from someone a while ago? Yes, I did. I'm going to go back to my emails and I'm going to search the word freelancer or freelance copywriter in my emails to see if I can pull up that email that I tucked away somewhere and didn't open. Your email is going to come straight up because you haven't said, my name is Sarah Wiggins. He doesn't know your fucking name, or she. They don't know your fucking name. They just know they want a freelance copywriter. So make sure that you're being super specific in the subject line. They might even go back trawling through a folder to see if they can find it. And if you've put everything that they need in the subject line, they're going to be able to find it really quickly and easily. So you're doing yourself a favour. Future self is going to thank you right now for being specific in the subject line. So it's kind of a hack around them even having to open the email because you've given them all the top line information in the subject line. And let's not forget, don't make that shit super long because it will get cut off, alright? I like to try and keep things under 40 characters with spaces if I can. I know that a lot of people don't stick to that rule or agree with it. I just always do it. I want them to get all the information in one glance and make it easy. It shows that I know what I'm doing. So what does a great subject line look like now that we know it has to contain all of the information front and center? Well, as with all good email marketing, you need to make sure that you are pitching yourself in the right way for that specific person. So in most cases, the agencies or businesses I'm contacting are quite playful, quite fun, quite disruptive, quite out there with their tone. So I know I can be really playful and informal and maybe even slip a little clever pun in there or be a bit more over familiar in the subject line because it's going to make them think, shit, who's this? They really get me already. And I'm able to do that because of the person I'm pitching to. It's not going to work for everybody. Know your audience, know what's going to push their buttons and make them tick. I've written a few articles on kind of psychology in marketing and how you can use trigger words and emotive words and really inspire people to open. So I'll pop them in the description box below for further reading if you'd like to go away and do further reading. So an example that I've used in the past that has worked for me has been freelance copywriter ready to help with your, and then I'm going to fill in whatever it is I think they need from me. Ready to help with your blogging, ready to help with your emails, ready to help with your projects, I don't know. Whatever it is that I've identified on their site where I can add value, that's where I'm going to put it. So they know that I've done my research, that I have specifically tailored my skill set to what they offer, that I'm freelance, that I'm a writer, and they got it all just from a fucking subject line. And when they open that shit, oh my god, that email is just gonna explode awesome shit right into their eyes. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you a little bonus tip. We all know that the fine and elusive art of email subject line writing is a fucking bastard. That shit is always changing because people's behaviour is always changing and you need to refresh your tactics constantly because other people are refreshing their tactics constantly. People become dead to certain approaches. They have moved on. They expect more, they want personalisation, they want this, they want that. So their behaviour is always changing, and what works today may not work for you tomorrow. So I would say once you've hit on that golden approach and it's really, really working for you, I would then suggest that you test a few other approaches based on what you've learned historically, what's not worked and what is working now. How can you hone that? So the next email that you send, maybe try changing something, or you've had an idea based on an email that you got that you thought was really, really wicked, so give that a try. Never stick to it. Once you have an approach that works, nail down the ingredients that made that so fucking rad, and then turn up the rad on the next email, or put yourself out there. Don't stay with one approach, because I'm gonna have to change my approach after this. I've just given away all my fucking secrets. Bonus tip, don't forget to follow up with people. If they respond and they say, yes, I have a project, I do need work from you, give me a week, I need to finalise the details, I'll be back in touch, and you're like, ching, 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 ching. Week goes by, you've not heard anything, don't be like, okay. Just be like, hey bro, you said you wanted to work together, I've cleared some time in my schedule, shall we have a call today? I'm free from 3 o'clock, let me know if that works, and we can jump on the phone. So you're letting them know you remember, you're still interested, you want to lock down a time, and usually that works. Sometimes people need a bit of prodding because, again, freelancers are never usually at the top of the to-do list. Don't kiss your own arse. You are not at the top of the list, and you never will be. So never be afraid to follow up, chase people. There are ways that you can do it kind of in a firm and assertive but friendly way. No bitch words, please. I've got an entire video on getting rid of weak words in writing. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm just approaching you because you might want to, and I thought maybe. Fuck that right off. Be assertive, let them know you're interested and that you really want to work together, and hopefully you will work together based on this advice. And if you do, you can buy me a beer to say thank you. And that brings me to the end of the video. I hope that you learned something here today, and if you didn't, I hope that you enjoyed watching me talk. You can find me on Twitter at EJ Cownley, or in the comments section below if you have anything you'd like to ask or add, or if you just want to chat, or if you just want to be friends. You can find me back here, same time, same place, in 2 weeks' time for more Kiss My A's. Until then, have a great couple of weeks, take care, and I'll see you soon.